Fashion Week, originally called Press Week, started here in New York City back in 1943. Before that, there were what we now call fashion shows in department stores and fashion houses for clients of the brands and the retailers. Fashion Week is a funny thing. It's highly publicized, but most events are invite only. It's very difficult and for some shows near impossible to attend if you're not somebody in the fashion industry. But I do have a few suggestions if it's your dream to attend fashion shows. The first option is the open to the public fashion shows. There's a growing number of these open to the public shows, and they can range anywhere from totally free to over $1,000 for a VIP ticket. I attended about 5 shows this past New York Fashion Week. Yes, they were free, but all of them were of the up-and-coming caliber. I mean, if you expect to eventually be invited to the end-all be-all industry shows, you have to start somewhere. Check the open to the public schedule at Fashion Week Online. 1 to 2 weeks before Fashion Week starts. Fashion Week Online has a really decent sized schedule of the shows that are normally happening, and you can click through to contact the designer PR team directly to get a solid invite straight from the brand. Fashion show tip: be forewarned that some of the free public shows have a habit of corralling around the attendees from one room to another before they're ready to seat you. I recommend wearing comfortable shoes because you might be standing around for a while. My worst experience from this past New York Fashion Week was standing for 2 hours before they even seated us. Second option is to register with New York Fashion Week. There are 2 ways to register. You can register as a photographer or videographer or as a normal person. If you are going to register as a photographer or videographer, there's a link below that you can follow and register. They will credential you, so don't register unless you're actually a photographer or videographer. And your chances of getting invited to a show are still pretty slim if you don't work for a significant media outlet. The second way is just as a normal person. If you're not a photographer or a videographer, you can still email below and they'll add you to the press list for all the shows, which will be sent to all the PR teams of the designers. And then you just cross your fingers, sit back, and hope somebody invites you to a show. But honestly, don't hold your breath. The third option is to volunteer. It's difficult to volunteer for the high-end fashion brands as they tend to have their own interns that they utilize for their shows. And if they need extra interns, they normally will go to fashion schools like the Fashion Institute of Technology or Parsons School of Design to find eager students that want to help out backstage behind the show. For the smaller Fashion Week productions, I have found some volunteer opportunities from PR companies that sort of run these offshoot fashion weeks. A lot of these volunteer opportunities can be found on Eventbrite. And you can find these up to a few months before Fashion Week starts. Some of these small offshoots are called Couture Fashion Week, AMCO NYC, and Plitz Fashion Shows. But be aware that as a volunteer, you most likely will not be sitting and watching the show. You'll probably be backstage, running around, helping dress models, and with other various tasks. Most volunteers tend to be of the college age, so if that's not your scene, don't be surprised if you find yourself saying to yourself, I'm too old for this. Volunteer tip: if you want to watch the shows, try to get a volunteer position as a greeter or as a host or any other position that's where the audience and the press is, so not backstage. This is your best chance of watching the shows while you volunteer. A note on celebrities: don't expect to see anyone well-known at the up-and-coming shows. It's pretty unlikely. I will say it does happen now and then. I went to Tommy Hilfiger's first See Now Buy Now collection in collaboration with Gigi Hadid. It was free and it was open to the public. I got to see Tommy Hilfiger, Gigi Hadid, Hailey Baldwin, and many other easily recognizable supermodels. But this is definitely not normal. Since this was his first See Now Buy Now direct-to-consumer collection, Hilfiger made this show more about the end customer than about the buyer and the press. So it made sense to have real potential customers from a PR aspect. And still, we were very separated. There was a press and celebrity invitation side, and there was a consumer public side of the show. Taylor Swift and other celebrities were on the invitation side, and myself and other public people were on the open to the public side. Fashion Week can sometimes be very tiring, trying, and just plain obnoxious, especially with all of the corralling, unorganized shows, delayed starts, irate attendees, lack of visibility, and inclement weather, especially during the winter months. But if you have a true passion for fashion, these things probably won't bother you, as there's nothing quite like witnessing beautiful garments move and flow in person. Give this video a like, subscribe, and write down below your best advice for getting into fashion shows.